Okay, good morning, class. So today we're looking at interpretation of graphs. We're looking at the example for exercise 8.5, which is on page 178. And this example is on page 175. Interpretation of sketch graphs. So that means to say the graph is given. Now they're asking us questions pertaining this graph. Okay, so there's your heading. Interpretation of sketch graphs. Okay. So look at the graphs of y is equal to negative x squared plus 1. Now, which graph of the two is this? The straight line or the parabola? Both. How can minus x squared plus 1 be both graphs? What's wrong with you? She says not the straight line. Yes, well done. So it has to be the parabola, yes. Because x is being squared. Okay, x is being squared. So this graph here is y is equal to x squared plus 1. Whilst this one here is x minus 1. Okay, you all agree with that? Okay. So let's look at the question. So here we are told Alright, here we are told that find the coordinates of A, B, C, D, and E. So let's look at A. What is A, people? A is what? It is your y-intercept of the parabola. How do you calculate y-intercept? We let x equal to 0. So do that calculation quickly for the parabola. Y-intercept let x equal to 0. You all agree with that? Y-intercept with x equal to 0, so y is equal to 0 squared plus 1, which is 1. So the coordinates of A is 0 and 1. You all okay with that? That's nothing new to us. Then they ask you for B and C. What is B? Edge. So y-intercept of the straight line. And what's the y-intercept of this line? Negative 1. So B is going to be 0 and negative 1. But say we didn't know that. Then what do we say? Y-intercept let x equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 minus 1, which is negative 1. Therefore B is 0 and negative 1. Okay. Then they ask you for B and C. What is B and C? C and D, sorry. C and D. You see, D is the x-intercept of the straight line. However, it's also the x-intercept of the parabola. But if you work out the x-intercept of the parabola, I will actually get C and D's answer. So I would go with the parabola's calculation now. Okay? So what do we do for our x-intercept? Let y equal to 0. And it's on the parabola. 0 is equal to x squared, negative x squared, plus 1. Should be negative, no? Okay. Do your thing. They get over the equal sign becomes x squared is equal to 1. Square root x equal to plus minus 1. Ever answer the question? No. We must write it in coordinate form. So C is the negative on the negative x-axis, and D 1 and 0. Okay. E. What is E? Point of intersection. Okay. So how do you work out the point of intersection? How do you work out the point of intersection? What is actually happening at the point of intersection? The two graphs are crossing each other or meeting each other. What? So the x value on the parabola is the same x value on the straight line. Likewise, the y value at that point of E and the parabola is the same as the y value on the straight line at that point. So the two graphs are equal at that point. Can you see that? So if it's sharing the same x and y values, that means to say we can say the two graphs equal to each other to work out the point of intersection. So whenever we work out the points of intersection, we say the two graphs equal to each other. Okay. So the one graph being y is equal to x minus 1 and one is equal to y is equal to minus x squared plus 1. So we're doing simultaneous equations in other words. But you can't do it by elimination here. Not going to help us much. So what we do is we see the two graphs equal to each other. So if y is equal to x minus 1 and y is equal to negative x squared plus 1, then x minus 1 has to be equal to negative x squared plus 1. Can you see that before? So it becomes now a trinomial. Take everything to one side, the equal sign. So it's x squared minus 1 plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Becomes x squared plus x minus 2 is equal to 0. What is this now? A trinomial, quadratic. Solve for x. Those of you who thought you don't need to know how to solve for x then, she's coming up again. Okay. So we got x and x, 2 and 1, plus and minus. So x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x equal to minus 2 or x equal to 1. So now you ask yourself, we want to calculate one coordinate of E. But why do we have two x values? Why do you think we have two x values here? The graph, yes. The two graphs, yes. About that, you starting over right. Two graphs, yes. See here, this is the one graph. That one graph is cutting at E and at D. So there's 2 points of intersection. Can you see that? There are 2 points of intersection. So you see there, what is the x value at this point already? 1. Hence, 1 there. Can you see that, people? Even though they didn't ask about D, it's coming up as well. You all understand? So which point, which x value are we then interested in? The -2 is which we are interested in. Not so. So what do we do with that? We can either substitute it into the straight line or into the parabola. Okay, with a straight line, x is now -2. So y is equal to -2 minus 1, which gives an answer of -3. What if I had substituted into the parabola? Y is equal to negative, open brackets, -2 squared plus 1. -2 squared is positive 4 times negative is -4. -4 plus 1 is? Which is the same value. So you can choose which one you want to substitute it into. But I would normally substitute it into the easier one of the two. Okay, if you're that kind of girl who likes to make life difficult, okay, remember that words later on when you're married. Please don't make life difficult. Yeah? Get your stuff sorted out here in high school. Yeah? Make it easy for the husband. Yeah? Those of you who's marrying husbands. Right? Do you guys understand? What don't you understand? Okay, please sit down. What? DNC. DNC. But you must remember, what is DNC? Those are the x-intercepts of the parabola. How do you calculate x-intercept? Let y equal to 0. So because that was the parabola, I let y be 0. So 0 is equal to x minus x squared plus 1. Divided by -1. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 1. And then difference of 2 squares there. X plus 1, x minus 1. X plus 1 is equal to 0. So x equal to minus 1. Or x minus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to. Because that is on the negative part of your x-axis. That is why I made that -1. And D is going to be on the positive. So then C has to be -1 and 0. And D is 1 and 0. You understand now? Anything else you don't understand? Huh? No. You guys understand?
How much marks will you first question?
But this one in particular, 4 marks. Yeah, listen, if you don't want 4 marks, well, relax your bones. If you feel that this is not worth your time for 4 marks, then you just leave it out. Okay, do what you normally do. Let me second. And you guys say you're gonna wing it, no, you just wing it. Wing it, yes. People listen. That's that. That is A. Let's look at B. B. People, you don't do like I'm doing, no? I'm erasing all my answers. You don't do the same. No? In the exam. People, the question says calculate the distance AB. With distance? Distance formula, not so? No. You can use distance formula, you can. But because if a line, or the line segment you want to calculate, if it's parallel to your x-axis, subtract the two y values. If it's parallel to your y-axis, You subtract the two x values. So that's it saying twice now. You don't know. Okay. If it's parallel to your, like this is parallel to your y-axis. Can you see it's the same as the y-axis? That's parallel. Can we take the difference between the two? So AB is equal to 1 minus the one at the bottom, negative 1, gives you 1 plus 1, which is 2. So the distance of AB is 2. Well done to you. Right. Now, if you look here, you see, if I take that line into account, it is parallel to the x-axis. Can you see that? So what you do is you subtract the 2. This is parallel to your y-axis. I must subtract the y value, sorry. We're parallel to your x-axis, you subtract the two x values. I see the other way around, my mistake. So what is the distance between D and C? 1 minus minus 1, which is 2. Okay. You see that, people? Yeah, you can write 2 units, whatever. Okay. So do it again. You guys understand? What's do it again? Again, okay. Now moving too fast now. Okay. You're confused. Now let's go a little slower. Upi. But yeah. They want to know what's the difference of the distance between A and B. Okay. So what is the distance from A to the origin? 1. And what is the distance from the origin to B? H. If somebody asks you what's your height, can any of you be minus 1.5 meters long? Huh? Can we see this about it? Can anybody of you be? No. That means to say you cease to exist. Yeah? So that means to say, people, length can never be. Length can never be negative. Can never be negative. So, what's the distance from O to B? 1 unit. And what's 1 plus 1? Yes. And I feel like you guys are going to pass in next paper. Exact. If I was with exactly the same subject exam, I'm going to get full marks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. So what's 1 plus 1? 2. So the length of AB is 2. That's one way of looking at it. Okay. Otherwise, we say the top value minus the bottom value. And what's the bottom value here? Negative 1. So what's 1 minus minus? Plus. And what's 1 plus 1? So it's 2 units. Sorry? Because if it is, if we're going to calculate the distance from C to K, then you can't go. Then we'd have to use the distance formula. But if it's GH or it's B or it is CJ or it is GM, if that is parallel, then I don't need to use distance formula. Right? If it's parallel to your x-axis, you subtract the 2 x values. If it's parallel to your y-axis, you subtract the 2 y values. That is why I mentioned between lines of parallel. Okay. Anybody else that's confused? Jeffries? Your surname not Jeffries. What's your surname? Jeffries. Okay. Jeffries, you know what you're confused about? Huh? Don't be shy, here's your chance to ask. What are you confused about? Nothing. Okay, the Jeffries understand you. Right. Well, let's look at the next question. Is it down? Now, girls. So now in C, question C, the distance GH. So we must find the distance GH. If the distance of OF is 3 units, there's OF. There O is the origin, and there's F. That is 3. The distance of OF is 3 units. Alright. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. I'll do both ways for you. If you don't understand the first way, let me know. Okay, but that's how it goes. People, G. Does G lie on? Does G lie on the graph of the parabola or the graph of the straight line? Straight line. Okay. So, what are these? We know that. What is your x value on G? What's your x value on G? If this length is 3, what is your x value here? Negative 3. Why negative 3? Negative side of your x-axis. Not so?
Yes, sir.
So the x value of G is negative 3. What's your x value of H? Also negative 3. So what do you notice? It's parallel to your y-axis. So we can just subtract the two y values. Lots of. But how do I get this y value here? Let x equal to? Negative 3 is. Why negative 3? Because this is the point of G. Your x value is negative 3. You understand that? Remember, if you got y equals x minus 1, what will happen if I put the 1 in? I get 0 out. What does that tell us? That 1 and 0 is on this graph, which is that point there. What if I let x be 2? It's 2 minus 1. 1. So 2 and 1. 2 and 1. It might not be that point. But 2 and 1 is a point on the graph. What if you let y equals, x equal to 0? Negative 1, which is also point on that graph there. If I make x equal to minus 1, then I get minus 2, which is that point there. If I put minus 3 in, I will get that point there. And there, and there, and there, and there, and so on. Can you see that? So you put the x into the equation, we will get the y out. And if you put the y into the equation, we will get the x out. You understand now? You understand, Michael? Alright. So what we're going to do is, we're going to substitute minus 3 into x there. Okay. So let's go. Y, so you're going to substitute. X is equal to minus 3 into the straight line equation. So what will the equation now read? Y is equal to minus 3 minus 1, which is? So what is G? Negative 3 and negative 4. So this is negative 4 here. Now would H have a value less than negative 4 or more than negative 4? On your one. Has to be less according to the diagram. But how do we get the value? The corresponding y value at negative 3 on the parabola? Substitute yes. Negative 3 into the equation of the parabola. Now we're going to substitute into y is equal to minus x squared plus 1. So we say y is equal to negative minus 3 squared plus 1, which is minus 9 plus 1, which is negative 8. So therefore, H is negative 3 and? Yeah, what is negative 3 squared? Is positive 9 times the negative is negative And then plus 1 should be negative 8. But have I answered the question? No. Here we subtracted two y values. Therefore, GH, we always take the one more positive minus the other. So it's going to be negative 4 plus 8, which is 4 units. Okay. Okay, people, that's one way of doing it. Alright. You all understand this. So what I did was, I calculated the coordinates, then I subtracted the two y values. That's all I did. Okay. People, there's an easier way. I think it's easier. If you want to calculate the distance, so that wasn't here. We want to calculate the distance of GH. Okay. Just take all of this away. Okay. The question says calculate the length of GH. Okay. So again we ask ourselves, okay? For the distance GH, looking from on top, your pretty eyelashes, no? Looking from on top. Looking here on top now, on top of the graph. We're looking at GH. Looking from on top, which graph comes first? The straight line and then the parabola. Girlfriend, don't tell me later on you don't understand, please. Okay? So you guys are having your mother's meeting again. Again, looking from here, from on top. Looking at the distance between two graphs. Looking from on top, it's going to be the top graph minus the bottom graph. Can you see that? So for GH, it's going to be the straight line minus the parabola. Do I have to write that? No. What is the equation of GH? The straight line. X minus 1. What is the equation of the parabola? Negative x squared plus 1. So it's minus brackets negative x squared plus 1. Who can tell me why am I putting that in the bracket? More than one term, following a negative sign. Okay. So if I simplify this here, I'm getting rid of the brackets. That gives me x minus 1 plus x squared minus 1. Which gives me now x squared plus x minus 2. This is GH. This is what we call the algebraic expression for the distance between those two graphs. Provided that the straight line is on top of the parabola. So anywhere here, it will follow that formula. X squared plus x minus 2. And anywhere here, it follows the same formula. Okay? Provided the straight line is on top of the parabola. If you look here, which graph is on top here? If I'm looking on the side of E, parabola is on top. So it can't follow that formula. Here, straight line is on top. That is what we call this, the algebraic expression for the distance between those two graphs. No? The algebraic expression. Okay. Let's take it one step back again. So let's explain again. To calculate the length of GH, we take the top graph minus the bottom graph. Which graph is on top? The parabola. Oh, sorry, the straight line. So you say the straight line, which is x plus 1 minus the parabola, which is negative x squared plus 1. I simplified it and I got the algebraic expression for that distance. Okay. Once you got the algebraic expression, we substitute the x value at which that is happening. And what is your x value here? Negative 3. So now we say GH, of course, is equal to negative 3 squared plus negative 3, which is 96 minus 2 is 4. 4 units. Otherwise, you can substitute into your calculator. Open brackets negative 3 squared plus negative 3 minus 2, which is 4 units. Okay. Is there any confusion here now? Okay. This one is easier, not so. Otherwise, if you find the other one easier, you may do the other calculations. However, when it comes to this question now, calculate the coordinates of J and K. Okay? Now they want you to calculate the coordinates of J and K. If the distance between J and K is 4 units, remember this was also 4. Can you see? There will be a time where this is 2 or 1. And there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on either side. Can you see that, people? So yes, it will happen on 2 sides. So let's go. Let's take this off. D. So we told that is 4 units. People, how do you calculate JK? It's going to be the top graph minus the bottom graph. Which graph is on top? Straight line. So it's going to be straight line minus the parabola. And what's the equation of the straight line? X minus 1 minus x squared plus 1. Which simplifies into this anyway. Not so? So the algebraic expression for JK is x squared plus x minus 2 anyway. Or as well. Not so? You all agree with that? But what is the length of JK? So I say 4 is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. So what do I do now? Take the 2 over. You all agree with that? Don't just say yes for her, man. What type of sum is this? For that, this is try now. So what must we have? Everything on one side? 0 on the other side. When do we take numbers on one side and x on the other side? For a linear equation. This is a quadratic equation. Can you see that? Yes. So we take the 4 over the equal sign. 0 is equal to x squared plus x minus 6. Trinomial. X and x. 3 and 2 plus and minus. So x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to 2. People, why is it 2 solutions? Because here at minus 3, the distance is also 4. Can you see that, people? The distance is also 4 at minus 3. So which one would JK be? It has to be the positive 2. And it makes sense, people, because that's on the positive part of your x-axis. Not so. So let's go. So J, let's pull this down a bit. So J's coordinate is going to be 2 and some number, and K's coordinate is going to be 2 and some number. How do we get the corresponding y value for J? Substitute it into the. Is J that point on the straight line or the parabola? The straight line. So must I substitute x equal to 2 into the straight line or into the parabola? Straight line, simple. So you're going to substitute x is equal to 2 into the straight line. Do I have to underline the right that I'm underlining here? No. You just say y is equal to 2 minus 1, which is 1. So therefore, J is what? 2 and 1. Not O. So change. No? There's O. Okay. On the other end, what do we do? We substitute x equal to 2 into y is equal to minus x squared plus 1, which is the parabola. Parabola. So we now say y is equal to negative 2 squared plus 1, which is negative 3. So therefore, k will be 2 and negative 3. And what is 1 minus minus 3? 4. So the distance is 4. Okay, let's hit the lock now. Then. Okay, but now at least you guys can watch it later on again if you really want to do well at maths. Huh? This part of the work pays a lot of marks. If you look at A, to calculate A, B is 1 each, so it's 2. 4 for C. D. C and D is 4 marks. So I'm saying on 6. E, point of intersection, another 4 marks, 10 marks. Then, distance of AB, 2 marks. 12. The distance between two graphs, 4 marks. So 16 and 3 marks. 19 marks. That's only if you want it. And most of us don't want it. Okay. So prove me wrong, go learn the stuff. And I'll be happy if you get do well in this section of it. People, let's do this before the bell rings. Okay, settle down. At least now we have done quite a bit of explanation there. I'm looking at stop blowing like it's already home in here. 177. Example 2, page 177 for exercise 8.5 on page 178, which is your homework for tomorrow as well. We are told, sketch of the graphs of f of x equals x over 4. People, what type of graph is x over 4? Yes, you also have hyperbola, put up your hand. Why is it not hyperbola? Now, why did you put up your hand? Who says hyperbola, put up your hand? That one with the ray pom pom. Okay, she's waking up now. Nice. Oscar, who's Peter? You're saying Peter's name out there, who's Peter? You? Yes. Who's Peter? Wasn't saying Peter. Who are you saying? John? Who? You are talking, you sleep. Just tell us you was talking. Who's that? What's her name? Mamacita. Mamacita. Okay, I'm gonna. For the next exam, I'm gonna mark your paper first. Right, people. Sketch out the graphs of y is equal to f of x, which is equal to x over 4. Whoever says the hyperbola, they are wrong. The reason for that is because the unknown e must be in the denominator for it to be hyperbola. So that's actually a straight line graph. And f of x can also be written as 1 over 4x. Can you see that? Alright. So that's a straight line, and g of x equal to y, which is equal to 4 of x, is your hyperbola graph. We are told that C and D is parallel to your y-axis, and EF is parallel to your y-axis as well. Okay. First things first. Determine the coordinates of A and B, the points of intersection of the two. So how do you work out points of intersection? Yes, how do you work out? See the two graphs? equal to each other. So x over 4 is equal to 4 over x. Cross multiply. So x times x, 4 times 4, square root, plus minus, so x equal to. So now, of course, b is going to be the positive, and a is going to be the negative. So what I do now is I substitute f of 4. I'm going to get 4 over 4, which is 1, which is that one there. And f of minus 4 is negative 4 over 4, which is negative 1, which is this value there. So there's D and there's B. Okay. Then the question says, if I substitute into G, it will give you the same answer. 4 over 4. Let's look at B. Calculate CD, which is equal to f of minus 2 minus G of minus 2. So, how do you calculate CD? It's a distance between two graphs. Looking from on top, it is the straight line minus the parabola. The straight line is f of x. Can you see the f is first? Okay. So what I do is, if I see x, I put a negative 2. So it's negative 2 over 4 minus 4 over negative 2. So that's going to be negative a half plus 2 is 1.5 or 3 over 2. Is this check? Negative 2 over 4. Negative 2 over 4 minus 4 over negative 2. 3 over 2, which is 1.5. Okay. Let's look at C. C says, calculate the value of k if it's given that EF is equal to G of k minus f of k equals 3 over 2. Now, G of k, if G of x is equal to that, then G of k is equal to 4 over k. So it's 4 over k minus f of k. It's going to be k over 4 equals 3 over 2, which is the same value here. No? So one of my solutions is definitely going to be x minus 2 because it's the same name. So my LCM here is 4k, for those of you who thought, okay, algebraic fractions behind us. So it's going to be 16 minus k squared is equal to 3 times 2k. So it's going to be, take everything to one side, so 0 is equal to k squared plus 6k minus 16. We said we know 2 is going to be a factor there. So it's going to be k and 2, k and 8 by the looks of it. So it must be plus and minus. So k is equal to 2 or k is equal to negative 8. Okay, calculate the value of k. So it can be either one of the two. Not so. So calculate the value of k is given at EF. But now remember people, EF is on the positive part of your x-axis, not so. So therefore, I made a mistake here. K is equal to 2. Oh, they went the other way around. Okay, so therefore k has to be equal to 2 because that's on the positive part of your x-axis. Let's look at the last one. I know you guys need to leave. Here we are told in D, calculate with the aid of the sketch graph the solution of the inequality. Now, which graph is this? Is f of x must be more than the g of x graph. Not so. So, which graph is f? Your straight line. So, your straight line, is the straight line bigger or smaller here? Smaller. Okay? Let's take us out here. However, here the straight line is bigger, not so. So it's from this a value of -4 till 0. So x is greater than -4 but less than 0. Or here you'll see the hyperbola is greater. Can you see that? Here the straight line is greater again. From 4 in that direction. So x is greater than 4. So the solution there is x is greater than -4 but less than 0, or x is more than 4. Okay, now I've said a lot. For homework, I would like you guys to do 8.5. I think I have chosen a couple of sums here to re-explain a couple of things. But we'll look at that tomorrow, whatever issues you had, okay? People, for homework is 8.5 as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon, class.